evil blanket fish has awoken.
Alright, looks like it. Kind of got home late today, so I was like last second trying to get everything taken together. But we are continuing with Oninaki.
La 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 la, la 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 la. Watchers dance. Such fun.
The Watchers dance. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. The Watchers, they dance.
I feel like that's the same one you got last time, Ragna, but thank you for the resubscribe. How you doing? I don't think I've tried bubbly soda. I don't remember if you got that last time or the time before, but because I remember this exact same thing where you got that one and you said the same thing, best notification. I don't know if it was 2 times in a row or like it was time before that. Oh. Feels weird streaming again, even though it was only like 2 days I missed because of my neck. Which only hurts now if I like... Actually, no, it doesn't even hurt that much. It's just like a little twinge. It doesn't actually hurt. But that first day, man, I was like this. If I tried to move my head like more than from right here, it hurt like hell. I barely slept because of it. That's why I skipped out on the second day. But by the second day, it felt a lot better. It was just that I didn't sleep very well because of it. I guess I'll go with my manuals. But yeah. And Jigs, thank you for the resubscribe as well. $18 months. Has it been that long? Damn. Time flies. Yeah. It's basically that scene in Covenant where Yuri has to go get Amon back, and he finally sees what he looked like when he was Amon. I just kind of pasted the evil blanket fish face on it. Shadow Hearts is really good. Like, even the battle system of Shadow Hearts is really good. It's not just straight up turn-based. You pick your attack and then you have to hit the Judgment Ring, so it's got timing based to it. Hey, Nami, how you doing? But they definitely, as the games go on, because they were kind of partially horror and partially like kind of wacky. And like the first game is probably like 75-80% horror, like and the rest, you know, being kind of goofy. I'd say Covenant is probably more 50-50. And then the third game, which isn't actually Shadow Hearts 3, it was supposed to be a Gaiden, it was supposed to be a side story game. They basically made it to try to make money so they could fund the actual third game, which was Shadow Hearts from the New World. That one was probably more like 75% goofy, 25% horror. And even then, none of the horror kicked in until probably about the second half of the game. Which I can always tell if people, like, dropped it immediately or not when they say that it doesn't get dark at all. Because whenever someone says that Shadow Hearts from the New World doesn't get dark, it's like, oh, you dropped it before the halfway point. Even then, that was supposed to be just a side story game to make money, and it ended up doing so bad that it bankrupted the company. Nah, they definitely wouldn't. It was definitely, you know, from the times. I'm trying to remember what it was I was supposed to be. I guess I just go back in here. That seems to be where the objective is. But yeah, what I was saying before, like, it was weird as hell. It's one of those, you always hear those stories about that, you know, it's like, especially comedians, they talk about when they get older, how they're like, just something will mess up on them for nothing. And that's exactly what it was. I was at work, I was sitting perfectly still, facing forward, and then I just had this, I don't know, because I tend to do it pretty often, because I've had whiplash before. So I often get like an urge to like crack my neck. And I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just felt an urge to crack my neck. And before I could even do it, I just turned my head slightly, and it hurt like hell. And then it was just like, I was stuck like this, and I couldn't straighten out. It was just like, I didn't even do anything to trigger it. It just like, somehow my, like the muscle on this side of my neck and the back just like completely froze up. I guess that's what all those comedians and everything are talking about, how you get old and just things will just mess up for no good reasons. I have a task for you. I want you to apprehend the butcher. The butcher?
Oh.
Brutal killer, already linked to 3 deaths. No connection between the victims besides location. Killer seems good with a sword. I want you 3 to split up and sweep the back streets. Keep an eye out for the lost. Some of his victims may still be lurking around. That's just it. I didn't even get to crack my neck. I had like a feeling like I wanted to crack my neck, but before I could even do it, like, I turned my head like the slightest bit before I could even crack my neck, and it was already like horrible pain. I'm assuming that feeling that I needed to crack my neck was the muscle like tightening up.
Sate.
First things first, look for the lost.
Yosh.
Ayura and I will check around the palace.
お前は
Kagachi, you search the area around the gate. Oh, hey, Kagachi.
ね
Leo just spoke with you guys, right? You, Kushi, and Mayura? Well, what did you talk about?
No.
Do you have time to be sticking your nose in other people's business? Strictly as always, I see. Classic Kagachi, huh? Am I right? Like I've ruffled your feathers, so I'm out before you squawk at me. But luckily it wasn't anything serious. It definitely wasn't like the pinched nerve that I had around this time last year that lasted like months. It only hurt for like maybe a day and a half. And even then it got way less severe the next day. Like I could actually move my head around. It was only like I'd have to really press it down certain directions for it to hurt, and it doesn't really hurt at all anymore now.
Oi.
You there. Murdered? It was here. So sudden, from behind.
それで
So you didn't see the killer's face.
はい。
I'm sorry, but no.
いや
You need to apologize. I promise you, I'll catch the killer and send you home.
いえ、
Oh, there's no need.
あの、
I don't harbor any hatred toward my killer.
何
Then why remain?
どうせ、
I planned on dying anyway, but without my charm, I'm too scared to go.
な
But charm,
それは、
supposed to help me find my soulmate in the next life.
あち
This again.
いや
Nothing. Continue.
あの、
Peddler was out, so I ordered one special. It finally arrived, and I was on my way to pick it up when
そうか
you were murdered.
よし
Very well. Go fetch this trinket for me.
本当、
Thank you. Thank you so much.
それで
Where's this peddler?
それは、
You'll find her on a street near the palace.
ね
She died, but she seems so content. How peculiar. Don't you think so, Kagachi?
別に
No.
え、どうなの？
You believe in reincarnation, I mean. Beliefs are my own. I see no reason to share them with you.
うーん、
Meaning? Kagachi, buying a charm is really easy end of days.
ち
What do you take me for? It's charms to help send one of the lost. She ordered one from this shop.
ね
Wait, was she one of the butcher's victims too?
あ
That's right.
そうか
We're here for the same reason. It's like all our victims had something in common after all. Welcome, good cousin.
おい
Your customers are dying. Care to explain why? Wait. Why should I know anything about it? It's absurd.
本当か
You deny being the killer.
そんな
What reason would I have to kill them? Please, this isn't funny. You'll put me out of business.
ま
I don't think she's lying.
あなら
In that case, we need your cooperation. Seen anyone suspicious recently? Particularly someone wearing a sword.
それは
I have.
あんたたちよ
You guys.
ち
Hey, Baku. Thank you very much for the raid. Thank you very much for the raid. And Limited Time Gamer and Captain Johnny Walker, thank you very much for the follows. So, how far... You were in May in P4G, right? Yeah, Nintendo Joel, Jacker. How you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. We're playing Oninaki, one of the games by Tokyo RPG Factory. Their last game, actually. I don't think they're probably, I don't know if they're closed down or if they're working on another one. Hey, Doom Mama. Yeah, Mothman is like what, like level 30, 40-ish persona. That's usually what he is. He's usually in like anywhere between the 30s to the low 50s in most games. So, I was only in your stream for a little bit when I got out of work before I started my own. How much, I didn't really get a chance to ask, how much are you starting, like, are you starting to like Persona more? Or still just playing it out of obligation? Thanks, Jacker. Yeah, I had a lot of the art done basically when the pandemic started. That was kind of part of my stimulus check. I sent out to have a lot of art for the channel done, and like I remember because I sent they look kind of crappy. Let me see if I can still find them. But I did send very detailed, like I guess you could say blueprints for what I wanted. Yeah, I still have them, obviously. Basically, it was this. Like, this is the blueprint for the layout that I sent the artist. I basically told him I wanted one that was 16 by 9, you know, one that was 4 by 3, which, you know, 16 by 9 and 4 by 3 for if I'm playing anything retro. And I basically just told him, like, I want this, make it pretty, and this is what I got. Pretty happy with it. No, Fairy Fencer is Idea Factory and Compile Heart, and the new one I think is being done by Sting, of which I actually just finished one of their games right before, right before East 9, because East 9 is what I'm playing, you know, Tuesday morning throughout the rest of the week. I was playing Gungnir, which was like their last of their Department Heaven series of games. So, it also reminded me that if Sting is in charge of that next Fairy Fencer game, expect it to be mean. Like, because between Riviera wasn't really a tactical game, and that one wasn't too bad. But between Yggdra Union and Gungnir, of the two that I played of them from the Department Heaven series from Sting, like, their level design gets really mean. So you could probably expect some of that to be in that Fairy Fencer F game, which I have Advent Dark Force, I don't know if this new Fairy Fencer F game is going to be a sequel or a remake. So I don't know if I need to play Advent Dark Force before it. I'm having fun with Ys 9, but it definitely feels like a downgrade from Ys 8. Like, everything that was in Ys 8 made perfect sense for the setting. Like, they added a lot of stuff as far as, like, the raids, the finding of landmarks, the exploration. Like, there's a lot of mechanics and side stuff that they added to Ys 8 that makes perfect sense for the setting. Unfortunately, 9, it basically feels like they were like, well, this was in Ys 8, so we need to put it in Ys 9. And it doesn't make sense for the town setting. Like one of the examples I usually give is like the landmark situation. In Ys 8, they had you finding landmarks, and you were taking it back to town to tell everybody so that they could find their way around the island after you've helped them, after you've done, the initial exploration. In 9, you're finding landmarks for the tourist board so they can point out places to people who are visiting the town. Except, like, I want to say 75% of the landmarks I found so far, and granted I'm only about 12 hours in, but about 75% of the landmarks I found have been inside the prison, which is not something that a tourist board would be pointing tourists to. Yeah, the gameplay is fine. No problem with the gameplay. It's just that, like, there's a lot of stuff that it kind of feels like they shoehorned stuff in where it doesn't belong, because they were just like, oh, it was in 8, so we need to put it in 9. And it feels very shoehorned in. That, and there's a lot more story. Like, I felt like I was kind of happy with the story that they added in 8. It felt like a good balance. I don't know if I feel like it's getting better the more I play, but at the beginning of the game, it's definitely a lot of story. Yeah, I've played all of them. 9 is the only one I hadn't played yet, but I'm rectifying that now. I actually played. Well, I haven't played all of them, but I've played every entry. Because I haven't, like, I played, like, Memories of Celceta instead of, the old 4. I played Oath and Felghana instead of the old 3, so I've played every entry in the story in its newest version. Except for 5. Because 5, the PS2 version, doesn't have a fan translation, so I had to play the SNES version. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, it's just there's too much, like, Ys 9, like, the Ys series it's more the action-oriented series. Like, it's a series that you play when you want to, fuck some shit up. And it feels like it just feels, especially in the beginning, like I said, I feel like it's getting better. I'm about 12 hours in now. It feels like it's getting better, but in the beginning, there's definitely, like, way too much stuff getting in the way of you fighting. Yeah, I might get around to it one of these days, playing some of the retro ones, but Oath and Felghana was pretty damn good in itself. I still think it was kind of hilarious that the final boss was a match of Pong, but the last phase of the last battle was basically a ping pong match. But yeah, I definitely like the Ys series. This one just they injected a bit too much story for my liking. I was kind of joking that